Good morning, students. We are going to start neoplasia. First of all, we will study basic things about the neoplasia. We will define uh, from two angles what is neoplasia, and then we will go for the nomenclature. Okay. So, we will try to understand the neoplasia from different angles from with the help of different definitions. Then we will study the nomenclature of neoplasia. It means how we can name any tumor in the body. Okay, so then we will go for comparison of different types of tumors like benign tumors, malignant tumors, and on the basis of behavioral on the basis of histological pattern of tumors. So these are actually basic objectives of today's lecture. As we have studied in our initial lecture about the neoplasia, Dr. Willis was the first scientist who described the neoplastic growth or neoplasm. He said an abnormal mass of tissue which have some special growth characteristics. Okay, so we have already studied this definition, but now it's actually a repetition. So what type of special characteristics was characteristics were excessive growth of abnormal mass, uncoordinated growth of the cells in a same tissue or in a same mass, then constant or persistent growth of cells, and these cells have autonomous uh, behavior. Okay, so they can multiply automatically. They are not under the control of body's uh, coordination. Okay, so limitation on the growth and removal of dead cell uh, are two basic mechanism which get failed during the neoplasia or neoplastic growth formation. So coordination failure. Okay, so and cell become autonomous and they grow in excessive manners, means they grow abnormally. Okay, previous definition of neoplasia was defined when there were very little knowledge about the abnormal growth of cell or neoplasm were available, but now we have many uh, advanced studies available in neoplasia. So with the passage of time, many discoveries are taking place. Like we can say this, we can say new now in modern definition we include the genetics as well. But with the passage of time, or in coming days, we are working on proteomics of tumor cells or neoplastic cells and metabolomics of neoplastic cells. So in coming, with the passage of time, with the coming with the coming days, we will be able to study the neoplasia with a different angle as well. So a modern definition of neoplasia, which is actually nowadays is can we say a proper definition. So growth of an abnormal tissue mass after the series of mutation in the progeny cells have special characteristics. It means an abnormal tissue mass is actually is autonomous or uh, abnormally grow due to the uh, mutation in the uh, in a single or a mutation in a initial or a progeny cell. Okay, when mutations or series of mutations occur in a single progeny cells, and this progeny cells and this damaged progeny cells after survival divides and form abnormal new abnormal cells, then mass form. This mass is actually a collection of abnormal different abnormal cells. Okay, so in modern definition we include DNA damage as a very important point, because mutation cause DNA damage. Mutations cause DNA damage, and due to this DNA damage, cell become violent. Cell will not undergo apoptosis after the completion of life cycle. So cell survive abnormally for a large period of time, and on the other hand new cells form with abnormal DNA structure. Okay, because initial cell was damaged, then DNA of initial cell was damaged. So when damaged cell divide, they also form damaged or abnormal cells, and this is actually a reason behind the neoplasia, formation of new plaque. Another important thing is neoplasm is just can neoplasm cannot develop just with a single mutation. Actually, neoplasia happens after series of mutation. We can say mutation in more than one genes or more than two genes. Okay, so we can say in another manner, mutation in group of genes. Okay, so when mutation in group of genes occur, then cell undergo neoplastic growth. Okay, so and all other characteristics are similar with the Willis definition. So this is actually a modern definition. So you can say, okay, in modern definition we focus on the genetics of cell as well, or DNA damage or mutation of as well. Okay, so nowadays, on the basis of genetics, we are able to diagnose or to study the many tumors or many cancers easily, but from but and in coming days it will be more easy to diagnose and study and to treat cancer, just due to the development in the proteomics technique or the metabolomics technique. So what are proteomics and what are metabolomics of tumor cells? Here we are discussing about the genetics. So genomics is actually a branch in which we study the DNA of any cell, or if we study the DNA of tumor cells, then we can say it's actually a genomics of tumor cells. So if we study the proteomics, means what proteins are in the tumor cells, then we can say it's actually a proteomics. So and if we say what type of metabolomics are high in neoplastic cells, then we can say it's actually a metabolomics. So these are actually coming news in this science. So we will discuss in coming years. These we will face techniques or easy diagnosis in coming there years, just due to the development in more techniques for the diagnosis of cancer. So this is actually a modern definition till now. Okay, in this diagram you can easily observe an abnormal mass in the rectum of a person. So rectal cancer can be observed. So you can observe in a right-sided diagram, abnormal mass is present in the rectum. So this mass can disturb the function of the rectum, and it can ultimately, if it have invasive or metastatic nature, then it can spread to whole body. So it will be dangerous if it can invade in surrounding tissue and metastide in the other body sites. Okay, so this is actually just an example to show you abnormal mass at normal place. Now you can observe two other types of tumor, two common and very dangerous tumors, especially in female body, which exist nowadays. First of all, breast cancer. Breast cancer is increasing now with the passage of time, and on the other hand, ovarian tumor, cancerous ovary, you can observe in a diagram. So ovarian tumors are also very dangerous in, especially in female. So many other types of tumors are present. So you can just observe here that the abnormal collection of cells which are forming abnormal tissue mass. Okay, so these are actually examples to understand the abnormal mass or neoplastic growth of cells. After completion of the definition of neoplasia and complete understanding about the modern definition, now we are going toward the nomenclature. Nomenclature is actually a system of giving names to anybody. So we how we can classify or give name to the tumors or new plastic growth. So there are two basics. There are two basics of nomenclature. First of all, we can name any tumor on the basis of histological types. So what are histological types? It means from where tumor is originating or driving. If tumor is originating from mesenchymal cells, then we can say is histologically fall in mesenchymal category, and if it originate from epithelium, then we can say it's epithelial tumor. So on the other hand, another basis is the behavioral type, means how tumor behaves. Is tumor uh, innocent or wild? So tumor also show different behavior. So if they are innocent, then we can say it's a benign tumor. So if tumor is dangerously invading in the surrounding tissue and metastasizing in the other body side, then we can say it's a malignant and the dangerous tumor. It can cause abnormal mass in many other tissues as well. Okay, so let's discuss these two things in detail. First of all, what are benign tumors? So we will study the characteristics of benign tumors in our coming lecture. Now how we can name the benign tumors? So we use oma at the end of the benign tumors. So it means there is a suffix oma. So in mostly benign tumors, but exceptions are always there. And so on the basis of if we on the basis of histological types, benign tumors can originate from epithelial cells or epithelium, and they can originate from mesenchyma, means connect supporting tissues. So these are how we can name benign tumors on in these two categories. So benign tumors of mesenchymal origin are lipoma. Lipoma originates from adipose tissues. Fibroma originates from connective tissues. Chondroma actually originates from the cartilage bone. Okay. So osteoma is a benign tumor of hard bone. And rhabdoma. Okay. Rhabdoma is a benign tumor of skeletal muscles. Leiomyoma. Leiomyoma is actually a benign tumor from smooth muscles, mesenchyma of smooth muscles. Hemangioma actually a benign tumor of mesenchymal origin from blood vessels. Lymphangioma originate from lymphatics, and meningioma actually originate from meninges. So these are actually few examples of benign tumors which are originating from mesenchyma. Okay, so names are very important. You can easily observe oma at the end of every term. Lipoma, fibroma, chondroma, osteoma, rhabdoma, leiomyoma, hemangioma, lymphangioma, and meningioma. So, oma is actually a indication of most of benign tumors. Okay. Benign tumors of epithelial origins are of mostly of two types, adenoma and papilloma. You can observe in diagram there few finger-like projections are present. In left side diagram you can observe granular type appearance. Okay, means in left side diagram you can observe glandular appearance in this slide. Okay, means almost oval shaped cells, small or large oval shaped cells. Cells mean cavities in central hollow area. Okay, these are actually glandular appearance. Okay, so these are actually glandular appearance in left sided diagram, and in right side diagram you can observe finger like projection from the skin, and in lower in the below in the end of the diagram you can observe you can observe histopathological slide with almost finger-like projections. So finger-like projections can be uh, visible with without microscope or with microscope, but mostly in adenoma or mostly adenomas can be observed just with the microscope. Okay, so finger-like projections can be seen as papillomas, and glandular glandular pattern mostly can be found in adenomas. Okay, so what are papillomas? Papillomas are actually finger-like projections which are also known as fronds. So tumors which grows like a finger in finger-like fashion. Okay, fingers can be microscopic or macroscopic. Okay, sometimes finger-like projections are so large that we can observe easily with the naked eye. Okay, so common examples of papilloma or stratified squamous epithelium cancer, which actually epithelium originated from the present in the skin, tongue, larynx. Okay, and tumor just derived from the urothelium, means urinary epithelium of the urinary tract. Okay, so these can be found in the form of papillomas or in the form of finger like projection, and I am going to repeat it. Papilloma can be microscopic, and it can also be macroscopic. Okay, so another important thing is what are adenomas. Adenomas are actually those tumors which commonly originate from the gland or glandular epithelium. What are glandular epithelium, or why glandular epithelium is different from the epithelium of other cells? Glandular epithelium, yeah, epithelium of glands is involved in the release of enzyme, is involved in the releasing of enzymes whenever need. For example, in the epithelium of the thyroid gland is involved in the uh, release of different enzyme, for example T3, T4, TSH. Okay, so so glandular epithelium is present in the glands of our body, which are involved in the formation of hormones. Okay, so if tumor develop from the glands or originate from the glandular epithelium, then we can say it's actually a adenoma. Okay, so in adenoma there should be there can be three patterns. First of all, originate from glandular epithelium and makes glandular pattern, as we have studied in our last slide, that glandular appearance are oval shaped cavity, specific shape or specific oval shape with central hollow area is actually a glandular pattern. So if a tumor originate from the glandular epithelium and show glandular pattern as well in the glass slide or cutted section, then we can say it's actually adenoma. And sometimes it can also occur that sample is sorry, tumor is or adenoma is originating from the glandular epithelium, but it is not showing any glandular pattern in this slide. So this is actually this is also adenoma. Third category of adenoma is which originate from non-glandular epithelium but show glandular pattern. Okay, so we will discuss the example of these all these three types in coming lecture, in coming slide. So in third category, tumor actually is not originating from the adenoma, or sorry, glandular epithelium or a gland, but pattern in the tumor slide or in the cut section is is similar with the glandular pattern. Okay, so we can say it's actually it's adenoma as well. Okay, so adenoma, what is adenoma? Adenoma originate from the glandular epithelium, and glandular epithelium is present in the glands. How glandular epithelium is different from the other epithelium, normal epithelium? Glandular epithelium is involved in the release of secretion. Okay, so as these secretions are hormones in our body. So adenoma is a tumor of originate from is a tumor that originate from the glandular epithelium. So here you can observe three different types. First, in first category, you can observe light pink color is actually a normal thyroid cells. Okay, thyroid follicles, you can say. So normal after normal cells, from normal cells, abnormal cell is from abnormal tissue in the center is actually a follicular adenoma. Dark color appearance is actually showing follicular adenoma. In follicular adenoma, appearance of cells is actually similar with the normal. Okay, so means glandular pattern is present in the adenoma. ठीक है, means in first category tumor is originating from glandular epithelium and showing glandular structure. And in second category, you can observe tumor is originating from the glandular epithelium. As in observe, we can if we can observe in the tumor which originated from the zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata of the kidneys. Okay, of the cortex, then we can say we can found this type K, in which we tumor is actually originating from glandular epithelium, but we can sometimes we cannot see a glandular appearance or pattern in this slide. Okay, but this is actually this is also adenoma. In third category, we are we have glandular pattern, or almost glandular pattern, but this is not originating from the glandular epithelium. Mostly it can be seen in tumors originating from nephrons, in renal tubular carcinoma, in renal tubular adenomas. Okay, in which nephrons is actually nephrons have non-glandular epithelium. So tumor originating from a non-glandular epithelium of nephrons and showing glandular pattern, then we can say it is actually a, adenoma. And common example of third category is renal tubular adenoma. Okay, so here a few important points about the adenoma. When adenoma originates from the glandular epithelium, then it has the ability. These are actually cells have the ability to secrete the hormones or release the secretions. So if adenoma release the secretion, then size can be increases. Okay, so when and the fluid will accumulate in the central hollow area of the glandular pattern. So when secretions from the glandular cells gets accumulate in the central hollow area of the glandular pattern, then size become increases, and this actually large fluid filled cavity lined by epithelial cells becomes cyst. So after filling of secretions, large fluid filled cavity forms, and this fluid filled cavity is known as cyst. So within cyst, multiple septa and papilla are present. Within cyst, if multiple septa grows and papilla forms, papilla means finger like projections forms, then we can say it's a papillary cyst adenoma. Okay, so in this diagram you can observe papillary cyst adenoma. You can observe in the almost in the center of diagram we have cutted the cyst in two portions, and we can observe septa in this cyst. Okay, so almost in the centers there are two uh, uh, means thalli like, or we can say it's a cyst like pattern in which septas are present. And in right side portion you can observe light yellow color finger like projections, small projections in the cyst as well. So we can say it's actually a papillary cyst adenomas. Here are few exceptions. Not all birds with omas in pathology are benign tumors. For example, hematoma, actually blood comes out of blood vessels. This is a phenomena when blood comes out of the blood vessel and gets stored. Then we can say and it gets accumulate outside of the blood vessels. Then we can say it's actually a hematoma formation. What is granuloma? Okay, so granuloma is actually our defense mechanism, a collection of immune cells around the microorganism. Okay, so it's actually a granuloma. Then what is choristomas? Normal cells at wrong place, actually are normal cells with normal arrangement, but at wrong place is easily choristoma. Hamartoma, what is hamartoma? Normal cells but abnormal arrangement at normal site is actually a hamartoma. What is insulinoma? Insulinoma is actually a presence of lot of insulin our blood. Then due to presence of lot of insulin, we our body can face hypoglycemia, severe hypoglycemia. So these are exceptions with the oma at the end. Okay, so you can observe not all benign tumors are not all birds with omas are benign tumors. Okay, so but mostly benign tumors have oma at the end. Malignant tumors with omas. So I we are actually studying about the benign tumors, but here are few exceptions. They are actually benign, they are actually malignant in behavior, but they have oma at the end. So glioma, okay, glioma is actually a cancer originated from the glial cells in the brain. So they are actually been, this is actually a malignant tumor, dangerous malignant tumor. Hepatoma, in nowadays we are pronouncing it as hepatocellular carcinoma. So this is actually a malignant tumor of the liver. So lymphoma is actually a malignant tumor of the lymphatics, and melanoma, melanocarcinoma is the latest name of this malignant tumor, and mesothelioma actually originate from the pleura of the lung. So these are actually malignant tumors, but have oma at the end.